Hello everyone, in today's video I will be at the Estes Park train show known as Rails in the Rockies on February 14th, 2020. So as I walked in, I noticed a ticket booth on where you have to sign in, but since I was with a club I got to go in free. Now over here you had to search and find, and also here you could win 2 train sets, a Harry Potter set and a Walther's train line ready to run CSX. Now, going out of the right door, you come to a cafe area that sold Girl Scout cookies, and to my left, there was a table with old parts, and to your right is a giant Walther's Trainline store. This store had literally anything from individual cars like this hopper and whatnot to these box cars, and these were really cool. But the one thing that really caught my eyes were these Kato engines, and I hope you can know why. Now, going across from there is a giant DCC store, Digital Command Control, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It's got all your DCC needs that you'll need. To the bottom is a Thomas and Friends Wooden Railway set, and across from that is a kids layout, with a bottom layout with Thomas without a creepy smokestack, and on the top is a figure 8 with 2 Union Pacific F7s and a freight train. Now, across from that, again, is just a bunch of old Lionel stuff, which is really cool to see because of how old they are. And then you got some Markland HO, but that coach over there that you just saw was actually Athearn. Now, as we keep going around, this over here are just boxes and boxes and boxes of O-scale, which I feel like it's O-scale galore for most people. And it just kept going on another side of a room. I feel like that entire area should have been known as the O-scale corner. And then there was some HO and stuff. So yeah, more O-scale than ever. Now you pass that over, then you got these 2 magazines. This is the first one for Como, Colorado, and then this is another one. And these are just the books. These are really cool to see. Now to pass here, I found my first layout. It was a giant HO scale one with modulars. And this really caught my eye as well when I saw this guy right here. Union Pacific 1943, the Spirit of the UP, and that's probably going to be the thumbnail. As I keep going, there's a yard inside, and yeah, these are modulars, which is pretty cool. And this was a pretty long layout, and oh, it appears that there's a Union Pacific freight train coming. And here it comes. By the way, this music is not copyrighted, so you guys can't do anything. So yeah, that was a pretty cool local train. Now on with the modulars. Well, passing the modulars. You have this little set, and it's, well, behind it is just a bunch of tools. It's tools that you'll need for modeling. Now past that, in the front, is the giant O-scale layout, and this thing had everything. There was an Allegheny, a Big Boy, Challenger, but what was running here were an F9 A and B unit with a full Rio Grande or Rio Grande train, as you'll see here. So now all these cars were had silhouettes, but the observation car had a real people, and then there's the Allegheny. Now right beside that was a pretty good HO scale store. You could get so many things for good prices, like here was a Dash 9, and you could have gotten it for, what, a good $89, which it was barely used. This CSX SD40-2 was brand new, but every engine there was actually half of a lot that was being tested as well. Now, this over here is what I want, but I can't afford. Now, past here, you've got some Rockies stuff, and then Hornby, which is kind of weird to see this, but it's pretty cool, though. I need this. So yeah, passed over a bit forward, you've got this table of just some old stuff, and then some N-scale cars. And, these actually had a Crescent Limited, which was pretty nice to see. Really caught my eye. Now, passing over there was just this nice place, and it had N-scale. Leading there was to HO, and then, Felix. Only some people will get that reference. Anyways, so yeah, you keep going, you got all of this stuff, and there were even toys in the middle, which I didn't get, but, this place here was only HO. It was pretty cool. I didn't go in it, probably just because I thought I had a lot of time. And then, yeah, it's that long. And then you got all this, like, post-war, pre-war something, O-scale stuff. Pretty nice to see this history. Children. Sorry, that was... I need this. Sorry, those last two clips were actually to, I guess, something silly. Now, here were 3 Hudsons pulling a circus train, and I feel like if Casey Jr. was real, he'd be, God forbid, jealous. Now, over here was a Z-scale layout, which is pretty cool, and then in front of that was an N-scale layout, which I found really appealing because we all know I model an N-scale. Pretty good. Now, over here is some more Z-scale layouts, and I was more focused into this bigger one because of all the detail it had with the scenery and the buildings and locomotives, even though it wasn't American. This was genuinely pretty cool just to see because of how small they were. Because Z is the smallest scale known. Now, past that over a few feet was this big N-scale layout, which, not gonna lie, is pretty good. Better than mine, anyways. There were 2 SD40-2s, and then there, it's a crane. I want it. Okay, now over here is the big Lego layout, and I feel like most kids would go here because most of them would like to build. And then, so yeah, that's actually based off the Hogwarts Express, the new 2021, 19-1, not 2020. So yeah, you had this Friends Village, and you had this small tank engine going around. Now, going around that, you have a giant, what seems to be medieval type thing. And past over here, you've got some of these custom engines, which, that KCS one is supposed to be a heritage unit. And these engines over here, onto your right there, those look kind of steampunk-like because of how technic they are. Passing that over, you have this beach area and the Lego Norfolk Southern Maersk SD40-2. Then you got the Ghost Train and my personal favorite, Union Pacific 1989, the Rio Grande Heritage Engine. Oh, I love that. Now passing here, you have the, by far, biggest layout, which was running. This thing had 2 tracks, but by golly, it was probably the most detailed with a giant yard inside, like most of these engines do. And there was only one consist running, and that was a Union Pacific, I think it was an SC-70 Ace, and, yeah, there it is, George W. Bush 4141. Yeah. So that's pretty cool to see. Now that we're done, I can actually exit the big room of trains and go through the lobby to cut through everything. So, yeah, and here's just an image to see how big they are out of the window. And that's 23,000 square feet. Now over here is the place I'm at. And basically what we had OCL on the outside, 2 HODCCs, and then an N-scale track. That was an old River Rossi big boy my friend just put out. I was like, that's funny. Yeah, so it's actually pretty cool I mean, this is one of our largest shows, and that's what I really like. And I actually got some pretty good stuff. There's a Galloping Goose. Yeah, passing that, there was a large passenger train going on. But, yeah, you had a little loop layout, I guess. And that's probably just about it for my layout. Oh, for my club's layout. And then over here you had just a bunch of railroading things. It was so cool to see that. It was really nice to get just a look of that. It's really new, cool, really neat. And yeah. There's the Trevor again. I can't get enough of that. And what I almost forgot before doing this was this area over here. And I actually bought a 282 Mikado. Yes, I actually bought an engine from here, and I went from N scale to HO to O. And there was one thing that really caught my eye that I really wanted, even though I didn't scale it. It was that guy. It was the 8444. And then past that was the Foreign Museum of Transportation. I want all these plaques, 4005, UP, Durango Silverton, and an Alco plate as well. Passing that, this is all they had. And then they had these little pullback things. And this is, I guess, the Acela Express. But now that they're retired, might as well just... So yeah, I had a bit of fun just doing that for no reason. And yeah, that was it. This was everything that was here for today, and I'll see you guys later.